Hi guys, and welcome back to Uncle Khan's Geek Cave. I wasn't able to put out a video last week. I was feeling a little under the weather, but I think I'm gonna make up for it this week with this guy right over here. You probably know who it is already, so here we go. No further ado. Ta-da! The Hulkbuster Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure. This thing is beautiful. It came in yesterday in the mail, and the best thing of all is that I did not have to buy the 7 figures that make up this guy. Now, how did I do that? I'll explain that to you in a second. Here he is, the Marvel Legends Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure. This is one good-looking action figure. As I mentioned before, I got this figure without having to buy the 7 other action figures that you would have to buy normally to get his arms, legs, torso, and head. How did I do that? I went to a store online, and this is disclaimer time right here. I am not affiliated or am I receiving a red cent from this company, but I believe that what they are doing for collectors is worth mentioning, okay? The company is called DorksideToys.com, and they sell the figure by itself. They sell it loose. They sell the boxed copies, you know, they sell the boxed ones with each of the appendages, and they will sell you just this guy right over here, which is what I did. Because I wasn't really interested in the other 7 figures that I would have to buy, except for War Machine, and I got that one loose from them too. And it's less money because you're not paying for the Build-A-Figure piece that's in the package. So you only get the figure you want, and you only get the Build-A-Figure you want. They did the same thing for Ultron, and they did the same thing for Rhino. So check these people out again. It's DorksideToys.com. Again, disclaimer, I am not getting paid by this company. I just think that, they should be mentioned because they're doing a great thing for collectors, okay? Okay, let me start my review of this figure. I have to start by saying I am totally wild by this guy. This is a really, really nice figure you got here, okay? This thing is sturdy, it is heavy, it is well sculpted, it has a nice details all over the place on him. Look at this, it has the little arc reactors down here. You can see like these pistons in his legs. It's a nice looking figure. Is it perfect? No. The only gripe I have with this guy is the same complaint I've heard other people that have reviewed it. It's the paint application. If this guy had the same paint job that the Iron Man from Age of Ultron did, as you can see, it looks metallic, has that little metallic aspect to it. This thing would be at a whole other level if they had used this same application on this guy. Again, is it a bad figure? No, it could have used a little more detail on the paint, but I'm not hating it because of the paint. I think it looks pretty good, okay? So let's go into articulation now. The Hulkbuster is pretty nicely articulated. Of course, it has its limitations because it's such a massive figure. As the head, it wobbles all the way around. It does a full Linda Blair for us, 360. I don't remember if this is movie accurate, if he could actually move his head around. I don't remember that. It's not important. I just don't remember if he could actually do that in the movie. His arms will go up about this high. They do full 360 all the way around. His elbows bend here. They don't reach a full 90-degree angle. They go straight, well, almost all the way. His wrists, they do move around, as you can see. Just a little bit in there. They're hindered by this part right over here. His hips go about that far, okay? His knees, of course, they bend pretty good, actually. Like a 90-degree angle right there. His legs go back, way back. And they don't go all that much to the front. That's about as far as they go, okay? He does have an ab crunch here. Goes up. And he goes down. He goes sides. Mine strains a little bit when I try to turn him around, so I'm not going to force him because this thing was expensive. So I try to keep him as straight as possible. His ankles, they do go up, they do go down, and he does have ankle pivot, which makes him posing this guy really, really sweet. Okay. The Hulkbuster stands at 9 inches. This, as I mentioned before, is a massive figure. Here he is standing next to a Hulk from Age of Ultron. I think the scale is pretty accurate on these two guys. In the movie, he was a lot bigger than Hulk and a lot more massive. So yeah, I think these scales, they did the scale really well on these two guys. Okay, do I like this figure? Yes, I really like this figure. The only problem I have is with the paint job. As I mentioned before, if they had done it like this thing would be money. But, well, it can't be perfect. Besides the color, the articulation is appropriate for the figure. It's adequate. I mean, you can't expect this thing to be doing somersaults and be all nimble. It's a huge thing. It's a huge figure. Just like in the movie, it's massive, so it has some weight to it. This guy, for some reason, they seem to put all the weight in the legs. And I'm guessing that's to make him a lot more stable since he's so tall and heavy. But the legs on this thing are really hefty. I mean, they keep most of the weight, like half of the weight of this thing's on the legs. And I think that makes it good, because when you're going to post this thing, you're pretty sure it's not going to fall over. Because these things are massive right here. They're heavy. So, Hulkbuster, I was waiting for this figure for a very long time. Am I disappointed? No, not at all. Again, color could have been a little better, but I'm still very happy with this figure. He has a lot of nice details on him, as is. He could have used a few more, but you have to remember, for the price of this guy, there's really no complaining. I mean, he's really good for the price you pay for him, okay? Especially me. Since I mentioned before, I got him like for half the price that he would have cost normally if I've had to purchase all 7 figures. So, you know, divide that in 2, and that's what I pay for this guy. And I'm totally satisfied with my purchase. So yes, if you can get your hand on this guy, do it. It's totally worth it. It'll add to your collection. It is a very nice figure. I recommend it. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and live long and prosper.